So.
Yeah. Okay. I had ended back there when the slave master, a slave owner, excuse me, Benjamin Turner had died, and upon the death of a slave owner, the jubilation in the slave quarters is the fact that he will not be able to visit brutality on them any longer or anymore. But there's also dread in the community, because if he's a large slave owner, the chances of all of the slaves stand together, the captives stand together, is remote. It wouldn't happen. So they knew families was going to be split up and sold away and never to be seen again forever. And the ones who were fortunate enough, so to speak, to be sold to slave owners in the area, they were the ones who were considered fortunate in that they were not split up and sold down the river into the south. Nat Turner, being the owner of Benjamin Turner, who had a son, he was inherited by his son. His son's name was Samuel Turner. And Samuel Turner inherited Nat Turner and his mother, Nancy, and his grandmother, and they don't say it was his maternal grandmother. We think it was his paternal grandmother, Old Bridget they call it, the one who was the teacher of Nat Turner. So, and another thing that slaves, captives, did not like to be done is being sold to a small plantation, sold to poor white trash, because they had to work right out there in the field with the slave, and a lot of times they were working to death. And in this case, Samuel Turner was a small owner, and I guess he tried to work to death. Slow down, they've been coming to the next, right at the end of this. Slow down. This field here is a crop now, but at the time of the revolt, this was the home plantation area for Nat Turner. That was at the Joseph Travis plantation. And further on, as we get into the story, Joseph Travis, and the next one over would be Salatha Francis, which Salatha Francis was a member of that infamous Francis family.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then further on still would be Elizabeth Turner. And we think that Elizabeth Turner was the widow of the original Benjamin Turner.
Wow.
Slave owner. Okay, so we can go on. We're going to go up here and make a right turn rather than go back there to the house of where Nat Turner's living descendant lived. Samuel Turner did not succeed in overworking Nat Turner. He worked himself sick himself. He took sick in 1822 or 1822, and when he took sick, he hired an overseer to work Nat Turner. And the overseer, according to a legend, Nat Turner, that he just mentioned that one day black people would be free, and for this, he gave him a severe beating. Nat Turner reacted by running away. Up to that time, with all the smarts Nat Turner had, he became a servant for black people. He started doing community organizing work even in his 20s, in his teens, you know, but he ran away, and he was gone for 30 days. And while he was away for those 30 days, he did a lot of studying and praying. This is one of the most sacred spots. This place up here, before you get to the hedge of trees, that's where a cabin where Nat Turner's wife lived with the children. Nat Turner's wife's name was Cherry.
Okay.
And she lived here with his children. And there's always been speculation about where Nat Turner was on the day that the revolt started. Mm-hmm. We have reason to believe he at least visited his wife and children.
So the cabin was right out here?
It was right up here at the edge of that field. And I have pictures of people coming, streaming up here, getting off of the bus down there and coming in like they're going to a pilgrimage. But one day, I brought a tour group out here, and we came up in here to visit the cabin as usual, and the cabin was down. Somebody had taken it down.
Wow. So recently the cabin was still up here?
Yes.
But somebody came and knocked it down?
They didn't take it and knock it down. The same Francis family. The Turner family do not farm the land. The land is farmed. They rent this farm to the Francis family. Mm-hmm. And it's a big farm. This is the land over here. This land is owned, it's a 380 tract of land by Nat Turner's living descendants. They own that.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was purchased at
the Turner. How did they come to own it?
It was purchased by a family member.
Okay.
Nat Turner's descendants survived because the Indians hid out a female member. Mm. And I had the good fortune of meeting Miss. Any reason you stop here?
Oh, you want to keep going? Okay.
Yeah, going up here and turn around and stop where the cabin was. But anyway, that's how it came in there. And then a woman married a guy named Turner.
Okay.
And that's how they came into this land.
Nice.
He bought the land.
That's a blessing right there in itself.
Yeah, yes it is.
That was very
and the land has a lot of stress. What they did, like tearing this cabin down, mm-hmm. and some of the other structures that was on black land, mm-hmm. they convinced them to tear the structures down, and then they started getting the money in to develop the tour.
Gotcha.
You know how
I was coming back down to the money, huh?
Yeah. And from here, you heard of the caves where he was finally recaptured? From here, the caves is straight back through these woods.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now there was misconception on that. I heard somebody say a farmer found him, and I heard another story where somebody from the militia found him in a hole.
So he was away. He ran away. We're gonna go back now and continue. He ran away for 30 days, mm-hmm. and while he was away, according to Nat Turner, he spent his time in fasting and prayer.
Okay.
And when you fast and pray, you get proper knowledge of self. Mm-hmm. You get knowledge of self. And it came to him what his mission was. He received his first major vision while he was out there. And the vision said, Nat Turner had a favorite biblical verse that he quoted. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, mm-hmm. and all else will be added. Mm-hmm. The vision told him, the Spirit appeared to him and told him he was too concerned about the things of this world, mm-hmm. that he should first seek the kingdom,
gotcha.
And then all else would be added. Mm-hmm. But along with that came his vision mm-hmm. on what his mission came his mission mm-hmm. on what he was supposed to do. He realized what he had to do, mm-hmm. and to fulfill his mission, he needed resources. Mm-hmm. He needed human resources and he needed weapons.
Yeah.
So the most readily available place to get both was back on the plantation.
Gotcha.
So he left and went back to the plantation.
So he could see that mission through.
Yes,
gotcha.
yes, to get those resources. And he went back to did a ridicule of his fellow captives. They ridiculed him, selling him. He was so smart. He was away, and he had returned.
Right.
That
Why
he
would
was
you
a
come
dumb,
back?
yeah,
Right.
he signified on him. He was just a dumb so-and-so.
Hey, for more of The Video Show, log on to thevadioshow.com. And while you're at it, subscribe to our YouTube, at The Video Show.